Hey everyone, it's me, Angel Joy, and I really just wanted to do a super quick video for you guys about perfection. A lot of the times when we think about like God and being around other people who are believers, we have a feeling of that we aren't good enough sometimes. Some of us. I know I struggle with this myself. So yes, so we feel like we're not good enough. And so sometimes people may feel, or we may feel like, okay, if once I get myself together, then I can go to church. Or once I get myself together or fix this area of my life, then I can speak to other people as I feel led to speak. And maybe once, we long to be, as outright and upfront as other people are in ministry. And we feel like we can't do that because we're not where we want to be spiritually. But the truth of the matter is that God called you right from where you are. He knows everything about you, and there's absolutely nothing that you can ever do that will take God by surprise. Isn't that amazing? Like every mistake that you like, okay, let's just say in a relationship example, you decide like, okay, I'm going to stop dating a certain type of person, man or woman, whatever. And I'm going to stop and I'm going to, be patient and wait on the Lord, right? But then you fall and you end up with someone who isn't exactly what you said you was going to wait on. And you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so ashamed. The great thing about God is that he already knew that you would end up in that position when you made the declaration. He already knew that you would fall. And so he's already made provision for that. So God is not asking you to be perfect, but what he does want you to do is when you do fall is to get back up and keep pursuing him. A lot of the key people, well, all of the key people in the Bible other than Jesus, were not perfect. I mean, look at Moses. He was a murderer, yet he led the Israelites out of Egypt, but he had murdered a man and he had a speech impediment. Go and read it for yourself. But he was a murderer. Look at David, who had a problem with lust and with women, and oh my gosh, and he was someone that the Bible is this great worshiper, and I mean he murdered his good friend because he slept with his wife and got her pregnant, so he tried to cover it up. So I mean, and this is someone that we all talk about in church and we talk about in Bible studies. I mean, this guy was not like flawless, but God still used him and God still moved through him. Look at Paul, who wrote a big majority of the New Testament. He used to murder Christians, okay? Like murder Christians, but God changed all of that. God didn't care. God is so forgiving and so merciful. I mean, he came to that guy where he was at. Look at Peter, who is, I don't know, this for whatever reason just like cracks me up, but I'm like super goofy. But Peter, I mean, he was standing right next to Jesus, like literally standing next to Jesus, okay? Standing next to Jesus, and chopped off someone's ear, like sliced it off the side of their face. Like that is crazy. But I mean, he was one of Jesus' closest disciples. So I say all of this to tell you is that you don't have to be perfect in order for God to use you. And the truth of the matter is God did a lot of great things through a lot of imperfect people. And you don't have to feel like you got to get everything in your life together and then you can come to God. Come where you are. And it's not an excuse to just be able to do whatever you want and say I'm covered by grace. But it's to come and to like seek him and to like follow him. And when you fall, like my really good friend always says, you fall where you're at. When you fall right there, you get up and you keep pushing toward the mark. I mean, God knows everything about you, like I said, and nothing you ever do will ever take him by surprise. And there's so much peace in that, and so much, I don't know the word I'm looking for, guys, but like there's so much rest in that, to know that even though I don't know I'm gonna make a certain mistake, God already knew, and he still loves me. And I mean, God created us. He wove us together when we were in our mother's womb. He knows our innermost thoughts. He knows everything about us. He knows us better than we know ourselves. And yet he still loves us. So get out there, seek God, go to church if you're not in church. You know, if it's something like you're in a store and you feel like compelled to say something to somebody but feel like you can't, or you feel like you need to write this Facebook status or tweet or make a Snapchat video but you feel like you can't because you're not perfect, go ahead and do it if you feel led by God, because guess what? You ain't got to be perfect, and you shouldn't have to feel the pressure to be. But what you do have to do is to continue to seek God every single day, to read his word, have your mind renewed through his word, and love other people and forgive just as Christ and just as God has forgiven us. But yeah, I want to go into more detail about this on another video. This is just something short, sweet, and simple. So check out those stories of those people in the Bible, though. Well, not stories, but review their lives and like really let that sink in. You don't have to be perfect. Till next time.